I'm calling it. The Wii is officially dead. Nintendo's motion control box of pure wonder and fun has finally reached its end as Nintendo transitioned into the world of HUD.
HD?
Sorry.
That's HD.
HD. So, to commemorate the Wii's success, we're counting down my top 10 GameCube games.
Why aren't we doing the top 10 Wii games? I mean, because we can't be bothered?
Yes, and I'm in a GameCube mood. Anyway, let's fire up the horses.
Number 10.
Mario's Water Pack Carrying Adventure makes a grand splash at number 10. Often regarded as the weakest in the Mario series, 3D Mario series, Sunshine is still leaps and bounds beyond other platformers released at the time.
The bright, breezy graphics were as charming as Cary Grant, and the gameplay contained that blissful Mario magic, mostly thanks to its responsive controls. What's wrong with me? Mostly thanks to its responsive controls.
Except, of course, the camera, which could be a real pain.
Question though, if the Shine sprites have been stolen by Bowser Jr., why do some of the Pianta people have them? Unless they're fools!
Number 9. Let's Go GX.
The futuristic racing game has pretty much ceased to exist in our current gaming climate. Probably because after they saw F-Zero GX, their faces melted.
Anyway, yes, this was a ridiculously fast and intense racing game with crazy tracks that required pitch-perfect skill to master. Let's not forget the fabulous story mode that featured tough challenges to overcome and hilarious cheesy cutscenes that was certain to make you cry.
If you could beat the whole story mode on very hard, you're probably an angel sent from heaven, or a demon from hell.
Number 8. Let's do a debate.
Probably one of the most satisfying games I've ever played. Pikmin 2 is one of the best sequels I've ever had the pleasure of playing.
Which makes an appearance in our top 10 sequels that trump the original. Shameless plug number 1.
Pikmin 2 gives you infinite days to explore planet Earth, and utilizing your little army to tackle monsters and collect treasures is just so much fun and incredibly addictive.
Still to this day, it remains one of the most unique real-time strategy games ever. And yes, that includes impossible creatures. What the is that?
Number 7.
The GameCube was constantly moaned at for being starved of RPGs, but in 2004 a whole heap of them suddenly popped out of the ground like an army of Diglets.
One of which was Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. A sequel to the Nintendo 64 original, the game was an absolute delight from start to finish.
It told a terrific story which included some gut-bursting laughs and delivered a great combination of exploration and battles. The battle system itself was superb, as you played to an audience and pleased them to earn yummy star points.
Absolute joy. Thousand-Year Door will have you grinning like the Cheshire Cat.
Number 6. Tales of...
Another terrific RPG within the GameCube's library, Tales of Symphonia is one of those magical experiences that only the Japanese could do successfully. The main highlight was the unique real-time battle system, which sort of played like a 2D fighting game. It was such a good system that you actually embraced enemy encounters rather than run away from them like Honest Revio near a circus.
On top of that, it featured an entertaining plot, a cast of lovable, enduring characters, and old people falling over. It also won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects at the 77th Academy Awards, beating Harry Potter and the Magic Elephant? What?
What the hell is that?
Oh, number 5.
Say what you will about the GameCube, but the truth is the system got two, count 'em two, masterful Zelda games. The beautifully stylized Wind Waker and the darkly comic Twilight Princess. However, only one can make it on the list. Which one is it? I'm going to have to lean towards Twilight Princess. Truthfully, I love Wind Waker. Don't get me wrong, it looks better and the final boss is just pure epic. But my mind can only take so much mindless sailing before it explodes. I'd rather ride a horse than a boat. It also helps that Twilight Princess offers a cool story, brilliant dungeon design, and dozens of things to do. Shame it didn't share Wind Waker's visual style.
That's what Skyward Sword is for.
Soul Calibur 2. Wait, number 4.
Definitely one of my favorite fighting games of all time. Soul Calibur 2 is still the defining pinnacle of the series. The roster was great, especially Talon. The graphics were great, the modes were great, the controls were great. Everything about this game was just great.
On top of that, even the pointy elf dude Link made an appearance as a Nintendo exclusive, whereas Xbox was stuck with Spawn. Spawn! Who wants to play that loser?
Except, of course, the thousands and thousands of Laura Spawn fanfics.
Fanatics.
Fanatics!
Fanatics. Anyway, this game was amazing and deserves to be played by everyone. Even the local homeless man in your town. Does your town have one?
Number 3.
Capcom's bold 4th installment in the acclaimed Resident Evil series took this series into a drastic new direction, and it was all the better for it.
Resident Evil 4 offered sublime controls that perfected the balance of horror and action, allowing for more accuracy, but also limiting your movement and making encounters far more intense. Add to this some incredible graphics and an entertaining, albeit slightly cheesy story, and you have a peerless package of polished perfection. The only problem with the game is that Rhino Romano's in it. That man still owes me money, though I liked him as Spider-Man.
Number 2.
8 years. 8 years Metroid fans had to wait for a new installment in the converted series. But it was worth it when they collapsed their eyes on this beauty. Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime took everything you loved about the series and perfectly translated it into 3D, even adding features of its own like the innovative scan visor. It still remains one of the most immersive games ever made. In fact, the first time I laid eyes on the detail in Beyond Your Drifts, my face literally shriveled up in awe. Addictive, expertly paced, visually spectacular. I just can't contain my love for this game. It's just, I love Metroid Prime and the Cheetos mascot. Look at the shades.
Number 1.
Growing up, me and Honest Revio were mostly Sega and Amiga kids, with occasional Mario, Donkey Kong, and Pokemon interrupting our lives. But that all changed when we got our greasy mitts on Super Smash Bros. Melee.
The reason we brought a GameCube. Melee blew us away with its fantastic graphics and sharp, fast gameplay, introducing us to the world of Nintendo and their many iconic franchises. A content-packed celebration of one of the best game companies ever. Melee is an absolutely joyous fighting game that we've probably spent too much time on.
But it was worth it. I mean, what else would we have done? Gone outside the park and get exercise?
I love gaming.
So do I. Oh, needs love when I got video games.